Hey everybody, it's Tony with Blacktop Magazine, and here we are, another edition of Benchracing with T-Bone and Jersey.
We've been on a little bit of a hiatus, I think.
I think it's been a while, too long, you know. I remember we did that one about putting the carburetor in my car, and that was forever ago.
That was while we were wiring the car.
Oh, wiring the car. Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't as long, but so you guys don't know, this is my friend Craig Majorana, and he's a car guy to the nth degree. Craig, how did you become a car guy? What was that instant, that first part?
I mean, some of it started with my uncles handing me down, you know, their sets of Redline Hot Wheels as a kid, which I thoroughly destroyed.
I didn't. I still got one.
I had that one. I had that one in blue.
Right, okay.
I destroyed every one they gave me. But when I was about 3 or 4 years old, my father gave me the option. He said, do you want to go to Six Flags, which by me is Great Adventure, or do you want to go to Englishtown, Raceway Park? So I said, what's Englishtown? Well, it's a drag strip. And needless to say, at the age of 4, I got to go see pro stock car racing, and I mean, I was hooked. I was hooked. The first time I smelled tire rubber and race fuel, I went, and I was in. That was it, man.
Right.
I didn't necessarily know that I wanted to do it as a career, but I was hooked as a car guy from a very early age.
Right.
And I mean, I did the landscaping jobs. I did the plumbing. I did the carpentry. Obviously, it didn't work out. But you know, I worked for hot rod shops back in New Jersey, and that really solidified my love for muscle cars and classic cars and all things internal combustion.
Okay.
When I moved to California in '06. I hit the ground running. I started working for my father-in-law's Goodyear, but I really had aspects to kind of move along further than that. I wanted to get back into the hot rod industry because California was where the hot rod industry started. I mean, I don't wear the rat thing for no reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I first moved to California, that was the first tattoo I got because I was in Ed Roth's stomping grounds, and this was my pound of flesh to him.
Wow.
Hello, my name is Zoe Scarlett, and please make sure to subscribe to Blacktop TV here on YouTube.
And I understand that there's different cultures, and that was the coolest part about being in California because you had the old school lowriders, you have the import scene, which I'm not a big fan of, but I respect it. You know, I respect the hot rodders. I respect everybody that puts their time and energy into building a car because it comes from the soul. It really does.
Yeah. You know, a long time ago when Jesse James was doing a lot of TV shows, he said something, and this is probably the only thing I really like about what he's ever said, is that when I'm pounding on the piece of metal, I'm bending a fender, I'm putting my actual sweat, I cut my finger, my actual blood, that's putting the soul into that piece of metal.
Absolutely.
And so that's something.
And I realize Jesse's not everybody's cup of tea, but you got to give the guy credit because he is self-made.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And when he was on Monster Garage, and this is kind of another funny story. When he was on Monster Garage, we used to watch it all the time in my old hot rod shop. We had access to the body shop. So when we saw him do something, him and Tom Pruitt, who's a lifelong friend of mine, also a painter. We would see them do, you know, little tips and tricks. They did a set of wood grain flames one time using cheesecloth.
Wow.
So we took my boss's lawnmower and we did wood grain flames on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I think Jesse was really kind of the big push the hot rod industry needed. Because it really made it normal. You know what I mean? Kids wanted to be him.
Right, and that was like the early 2000s. It was kind of a lull, and then the chopper shows came out, and the chopper industry just blew up.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt that TV drives this stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it sets fads, it sets trends, and whether they're good or bad in the automotive industry. As stance guys, I'm talking to you. It's not a good thing. Okay?
You mean the stance guys that are like, you know, the wheels hang?
Oh, looks good standing still, though.
Yeah. we were talking a bit before about it during the show. I was talking to somebody about drifting and like what a great invention that the Nitto and the other tire companies made to use the shit out of your tires.
I mean, I'm not big into the drifting, but I like what it's about. You know what I mean? I like the grace of it. I like the fact that I can smell tire rubber when I go to a drift race. But it's car stuff, man, and you got to respect car stuff for what it is, except for EVs. Still not going there.
Still not going there. Now, for me and EVs, right, here's where we might cross a little bit. You know, I'm not for the battery-powered EV vehicle, or the electric engine.
Right. Hybrids are a good idea.
Hybrids are a good idea, and but over in the Redline booth, there's a '64 Falcon.
Okay.
That has a Coyote motor powered by hydrogen.
See, and that's an alternative fuel. And I really think our government needs to kind of redirect their thinking and not force everybody into EVs, because realistically, I don't believe that the infrastructure can handle it. If every Jones on the block has an EV, not to mention if a battery goes out, that's $30,000.
Yeah,
that's the cost of another car.
Most what I've understood, I mean, I haven't researched it deeply, but that whole battery cost when it goes down is built into the warranty. You know, up to a certain amount of miles, I imagine. But yeah, if you're in 30,000 miles, your battery's shit, then then it's going to get warranted and that sort of thing. But still, that whole thing about getting stuck in the snow.
Yeah.
You know, all these cars trapped on a highway. You can't bring battery, to fill them up.
It's a horror story in the making. It really is.
Yeah. So
there are alternative fuels. So I mean, we really need to explore that aspect. We cannot go cold turkey on fossil fuels, because everything we do, fossil fuels are involved. I mean, your T-shirt, everything that we wear, fossil fuels are involved. I mean, the society will crumble if you completely.
And we're here at the SEMA show, by the way. But I did want to say too that we are here at the Quarter Mile Foundation booth at the SEMA show.
Big John Masmanian's car.
Right. This is like the dream car, but it was probably racing at Englishtown.
I'm sure.
When you were 4?
No, this is a little before that time.
Oh, okay.
I remember stuff like Plum Crazy Purple Dusters. I just have this vision of a Plum Crazy Purple Duster planting the bumper, running 8s in the quarter. And it stands out to this day. I know I saw it, but I mean, we used to go to every event. We'd go to the Wednesday night stuff, the trucking nationals. It got to a point where even when the lowrider show came, me and my brothers knew what time to show up. We'd park on the spectator side, make it around the pit side, and for 5 years straight, if you look in Lowrider magazine, there's me and my brothers, front row, ready for the hydraulic competition.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
My one brother almost got hit with a Dayton spoke when it exploded.
Oh no!
But
I'm sorry.
No. It's
Yeah, we're bench racing.
Yeah, it's just the cars really throttle me, man. And they always will, and I will always try and help somebody either motivate or further their projects.
So drag racing has changed a little bit since you were 4.
Yes.
What is your favorite type of motorsport, let's say? Doesn't have to be drag racing, but...
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Is there a particular class you enjoy?
I'm really starting to dig some of the no prep, but there's also these races down at South Georgia Motorsports Park where they slap radials on 3,000, 4,000 horsepower cars and then take the wheelie bars off.
Oh, man.
So you get guys that, and these guys, they plop the balls on the track and they drag them. I mean, you have guys, when these cars start to lift, they don't get out of the throttle. So, there's videos of these cars flying 15, 20 feet in the air for 150 feet.
Wow.
Because they refuse to lift.
Right.
And it's scary. It's got to be scary for them. It can be costly in a wreck. But, it just goes to show you, man, if you let it hang out.
Right.
You're throwing it out there, man.
Yeah. So where do you see most of that? Is it on TV or are you watching it online?
I either catch it on YouTube or Flow Racing has a way to catch live streams. But it's one of those things that I watch it when I can. But if I'm cooking dinner at night, I'll throw the YouTube on the Xbox and I'll watch 1320 videos. Plug.
Right.
And I just I'm into all things drag racing, so I really try and I spread it around.
Right.
But I have a genuine, severe love for it.
All right.
And I've gone to NASCAR races, I've gone to IndyCar races, but the one thing that really always will hold my attention is the 1320. I mean, even at 10, 12 years old, I was hanging out. Englishtown used to have a tree that came up over the stands.
Okay.
And everybody would gather under the tree, and they'd sling dollar bills. I want the right lane, left lane, right lane, left. Well, at 10 years old, I was up there with the old school cats, and they took no mercy on me. I mean, I lost at least $50 by the time I was 15. They didn't say, "Oh, you're young. Here, take, no." They said, "Give me that."
That's right. That's right. But so at the SEMA show, you've seen some really cool things so far.
Absolutely.
So what kind of stands out?
One of the main cars that I really wanted to see, and I started a running list a couple weeks ago. I'm a G-body guy. I own a T-Type, and there was a car that's built by Dutch Boys Hot Rods out of Michigan.
Okay.
And everything that's polymer, plastic, or fiberglass on this car has now been done in sheet metal. And I mean, the talent it took just to do that is bonkers. And it's now a twin turbo LS. And I think I was talking to the guy before. He said on a conservative tune, it puts out 1,400 horsepower.
Jesus. 1,400.
A lot. Plus all the metal work. I mean, the car is severe.
Did you know we have blacktop trading cards? That's right. You can get your car on a cool trading card and share it with your friends at car shows and that sort of thing. Blacktop Trading Cards. Check it out at blacktopmagazine.com/cards.
Well, it's been a neat show so far. It's only half over. You've been here since...
I've been here since Thursday. I'm exhausted.
I don't know how you do it. But,
piss and vinegar. It's one of those things, man. It's for the love of.
Right.
I mean, that's why you're here.
Right. I don't know. And all week too.
It's not just for the love of it. It is our business, but it helps to enjoy what you do.
Right.
I just happen to know a little bit about Yanko cars, and I was afforded the ability to go back to New York to a Yanko car show, and I was asked by my boss, and that's a really good feeling for me. And I was always a knucklehead, man. I was causing trouble. I was,
Wait, you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I know. I put my mother through hell, and now to hear my mother say that she's proud of me is a big thing.
That's huge.
So whenever I get business cards, my mother is handing out business cards on the other side of the country. She's like, "Oh, go call my son."
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's to me that shows that I've left some traction on the ground. You know what I mean? I've left some drag marks.
Right. And I can't not mention Christina because she is such a jewel for you. You two are just like.
Well, I mean,
anybody
that can bring their wife to a wiring job,
right,
and have her help.
Exactly.
And what's funny is I never really told the guys at Classic Industries that I was used to working car shows. Well, now they found out that my wife and I are a powered couple when it comes to working car shows. So now we work car shows.
Right. So cool. Well, it's great to catch up with you, man, again, and we're going to do this more. In fact, next time I think we need to talk about muscle car history.
Yeah, I would like to get into some Yanko background, some Shelby background, and talk about the guys maybe like aftermarket companies that upgraded. Like, I mean, we're both from Orange County. I don't know that you know that. There's a car called the Cheetah that was built to compete with Carroll Shelby's Cobras, and they were built 2 blocks from my house in Anaheim at Bill Thomas Race Cars.
I didn't know much about the Cheetahs at all until I met Bow Monster, and he uses that in his drawings a lot. You'll see a Cheetah. I'm like, what the heck is that? It's like some kind of weird Corvette thing or something, but then Cobra,
And I really think that Bill Thomas is the beginning of the conversation when it comes to Chevys because he was involved with Dick Harrell, he was involved with Bill Gibb, he was involved with Nicky.
Oh, man.
So that's kind of the meat at the bone right there.
All right. So let's watch that coming up. All right, cool. Thanks again, man. Awesome.
Always.
All right, see you guys.